welcomed to the meeting of the Warwick District Council Licensing and Regulatory Committee on Wednesday the 1st of October 2025. Thank you for attending or watching online. I am Councillor Kathleen Gorman, Chair of the Committee. Please be aware that this meeting is being recorded and live streamed. This will also be uploaded to the Council's YouTube channel. Details of how the recordings are stored and how long they are retained for are available via the Council's website. As part of this Council's commitment to reduce the use of paper, Council officers may use electronic devices during the meeting. So I have apologies from Councillor Armstrong, Aniela Pagada, and Councillor Falp is substituting for Councillor Barton. Do I have any other apologies? No? Okay. Are there any declarations of interest? No? Okay, so we're on to item 3, minutes of the Licensing and Regulatory Committee. Does anyone have any comments about either of the minutes before we do proposal sector? No? No questions, comments? Okay, so we need to approve the minutes for the 9th of April 2025. Can I have a proposer and seconder, please? Councillor Luckhurst and Councillor Redford seconding. Thank you. All in favour? Okay, yeah, that's carried. Thank you. And I'll move on to the committee minutes from the 14th of May 2025. Could I have a proposer and seconder, please? Councillor Roberts and Councillor Luckhurst, seconder. Thank you. All in favour? Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. Okay, now we're moving on to the non-confidential minutes of the panels. Does anyone have any comments or any queries about any of these? No? Okay, so the first lot of minutes to propose is from the 7th of April 2025, which was myself, Councillor Harrison and Councillor Yella Pagada. I will propose that. Can I have a seconder for that, please? Councillor Harrison, thank you. All in favour? Yeah, that's carried. Thank you. And then the 8th of May 2025, which was Councillors Armstrong, Barton and Gifford. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Gifford, thank you. And Councillor Luckhurst, seconder. All in favour? That's carried. Thank you. And then the 10 o'clock meeting of the 27th of May, which was myself, Councillor Kohler and Councillor Syson. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Syson and Councillor Kohler seconding. Thank you. All in favour? Yeah, unanimous. Thank you. And then the 11 o'clock meeting from the 27th of May, which is also...
It's 11 a.m. and the same councillors.
But they're different on the list. Hang on a second.
So Brown, Roberts and Gorman.
Yeah, but the one above this.
That's the 22nd of May.
Okay. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so...
So I think you skipped this one, but it's okay, we can go back to that.
Okay, yeah, so the 11 o'clock, 27th of May, have a proposer and seconder, please. I think I have to get one. Yeah, Councillor Brown, Councillor Roberts, thank you. All in favour? Okay, yeah, that's carried. So we skip that one.
Yeah, if you just do that one.
Okay, I think I've missed the meeting from the 22nd of May. Can I have a proposer and seconder for that? That was Armstrong. I think I've done that one. Hang on, give me a second. We've done that. We've done that.
So have you think you've approved it? I haven't got it on record.
We did because I did council. Okay, we're gonna do the one for the 22nd of May again because we haven't got it recorded. So that's Armstrong, Barton and Gifford. Can I have a proposer, please? Thank you, Councillor Gifford. Councillor Luckhurst, seconding. All in favour? Okay, thank you. Right. So now we're on to the meeting of the 7th of August, and we're correct now, and that's Councillors Brown, Witecki and Yella Pagada. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Brown, thank you. Seconder, Councillor Lucas, thank you. All in favour? Yeah, that's carried. Okay, thank you. Right. So I'm now going to hand over to Lorna Hudson to present her report on the statement of licensing policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, councillors. So by way of a refresher, the statement of licensing policy, which is what you're here to review, is essentially the framework that sets out how certain licences will be granted, managed and enforced. Its purpose is to make sure that activities which require permission, such as selling of alcohol, providing regulated entertainment or serving late night refreshments, are carried out safely, responsibly and within the law. Under the Licensing Act 2003, every local authority has a duty to publish a statement of licensing policy. The policy must demonstrate how the council will promote its 4 licensing objectives. And just as a reminder, that's the prevention of crime and disorder, ensuring public safety, preventing public nuisance and protecting children from harm. Once the policy is agreed and published, applicants, licence holders and communities, and also yourselves, can then understand the framework that's being used. The process for adopting the policy is also important to consider. Councils must consult with responsible authorities. In Appendix 1, you have a list of who those are. We also must consult with businesses and residents before the policy can be agreed. You may recall on the 9th of April, this committee approved a consultation on the draft policy. This consultation closed at the end of July. In total, we received 8 responses, and they're summarised in Appendix 3 and detailed in Appendix 4. So people may have made more than 1 comment per response, but individually it was 8 responses. The policy must be reviewed at least every 5 years, though it can be reviewed sooner if local, legislative or government changes occur. The updates on the draft policy have been listed in Appendix 2. And to make it even easier for you, in the draft policy, you will note that the highlighted parts, they correspond to the parts that have changed from the previous policy. Changes include correcting errors such as the number of parish councils, updates which have come in due to changes with Section 182 guidance, and new or future known changes to legislation. Example 8.17 with regards to the fire safety order. They also take into account relevant comments received as part of the consultation, and we've also included a new section in the draft policy, Section 15, which has been included due to some work which is currently underway in relation to the change programme, and as providing a new service where applicants are going to be able to request bespoke dedicated advice, which is over and above what we might ordinarily provide. So today the recommendations for you are to agree to the proposed statement of licensing policy and to recommend to council that the policy be adopted. Does anybody have any questions?
Councillor Syson.
Thank you, Chairman. The new section 15 for pre-application advice, I've got 2 queries on that. Will a charge be made to the applicants?
Yes. If they want bespoke advice, which is over and above what we'd normally provide.
And is that an appropriate charge? I mean, will it be according to the hours it takes? Because some applications could be trickier than others.
Yes, it's going to be based on hourly rates.
Thank you very much. And if I'm permitted, Chairman, to ask another question.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Have you got adequate staffing for this new service?
It's on a trial for the first 12 months. So ask me again this time next year and we'll let you know.
Thank you.
Councillor Oh, sorry. Councillor Syson, are you finished or do you have another
I
question?
do have one final bit on this point. Thank you.
Okay.
I note it says in the draft policy that where possible, a different licensing officer will be involved when the application actually comes to the council. I'm a bit worried about the where possible. I would have thought it would be preferable if it was always a different licensing officer. It would avoid difficulties, I feel.
Officers are already in the position where they're potentially commenting on an application and at the same time enforcing against it. So it's not an uncommon ground for us to be on. So that's why we said where possible.
Thank you very much. Have my bit for now.
Councillor Phelps, sorry.
Thank you. I just wondered about the level of responses, consultation, whether it's more than last year, less than, well, sorry, more than last time or less, or don't we know, or exactly how many did we, was it a high response rate?
It was 5 years ago, so I'll have to have a look.
I don't think it was too high last time, if I remember rightly. So I just wondered if it's not the sort of thing that perhaps other than statutory organisations would respond to. So I'm just curious.
Any other questions? Councillor Syson?
Thank you very much. I need educating. Model conditions, which are going to be looked at as part of a Marlem project. What does that stand for, please?
So I currently chair a MALEM group which involves, amongst others, all of the responsible authorities that are invited to attend every 2 months. So as part of that, we do projects and we felt that the model conditions, which would be, before they were in the policy, but we felt that they would be better sitting outside as guidance for applicants so that we can review them as part of that MALEM on a rolling basis. So if conditions need to change, if legislation changes elsewhere, then those people that are involved in the MALEM can look at those conditions every so often and review them. But they are as a guidance. So if people are looking to apply for a licence, they can look at them and think, actually, I can put that forward as a condition, and they're worded by those responsible authorities so that they are more likely to be enforceable and that they won't interfere with other legislation, such as fire safety.
Can I ask, so you've taken this out of the licensing things. Has it been reviewed, or is it about to be reviewed? And if so, when are you likely to have completed it and have our new model conditions?
It hasn't been done as yet. We only decided to take them out following the consultation and the comments we got back from the consultation. So that's when the decision was made that they would sit better outside of the policy. So my next group should be, if it's not later in October, it will be November. And that's when this will be put onto the agenda. And those responsible authorities will be asked to come back to me with their comments on the conditions.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Any, Councillor Harrison?
Thank you. Thanks, Chair. Yeah, on that point about a lot of being referred to Marlem project, because I noticed in the responses to this consultation, there weren't, when I looked at the Appendix 3, not that many, especially not many individual responses, but the one from Warwickshire County Council was quite a long response from Trilling Standards team, and that was summarised very briefly in the summary of comments, and a lot of it was being referred to this Marlem project. But a lot of it was to do with training and CCTV and stuff like that, which was, yeah, they talk about in their full response in the Appendix 4, but that wasn't sort of mentioned in the summary. No, I couldn't see any amendments, I think it was paragraph 40 or something, in the Appendix 2, which is where the highlighted changes. So this was comments about training because of the complexity with CCTV, and I'm going to have to jump to Appendix 4, which gives the detail of their response. They talk about training in respect of use of CCTV, and I just thought there seemed to be quite a number of points they raised there, and I couldn't see how they'd been incorporated into the revised draft. But on CMIS, I'm going to struggle to switch between reports. But it's on the Appendix 4, quite a long response to talk about CCTV, and I was trying to then cross-check that against the revised versions of the policy. I just couldn't see anything included on that. Thanks.
So most of their comments were on the model conditions that were in the appendix. So a lot of those referred to the conditions we had and their comments in relation to the model conditions, which is why they won't be in the new policy.
Councillor Redford?
I'm just looking at the responses, and is that right? Only one parish council responded?
Yes.
Wow. Can I just ask, how were they informed of the consultation? I mean, did they have to look on the website of their own volition, or was something sent round to them to say, have a look, it's on the website?
Did she not?
We'd have to check with the team leader, but we believe everyone was emailed.
Oh, right, okay. That's actually disappointing, I have to say, that the parish councils haven't responded. Affects everybody. Okay. Just
Councillor Gifford?
Yes, I think my question sort of follows on from Councillor Harrison's, looking at the consultation comments from Environmental Health. For example, prevention of public nuisance conditions, and they're talking about, rather than a condition only applying after 2,300 hours, can we remove the time or substitute it with X hours? I suppose my question is, who is going to agree this, and what is the procedure for doing it? Should we be doing it and doing it here and now today, or is it sort of delegated back to you, or how does it happen?
The timing comes in from is it the Noise Act? It is, isn't it? The Noise Act. So there's the Deregulation Act, the Music Act. So after 11, we can put in controls. Before 11, it's voluntary. But if we've got model conditions that people can choose from, where they want to put extra controls in, then that would then transfer onto their licence. But ultimately, if it doesn't trigger anything against the policy, then it would be officers that would make a decision. But as you know, if it goes outside of the policy, then it comes to councillors to make those considerations.
Councillor Kohler?
Thank you, Chair. And can I thank officers for the very, very clear way that the changes have been laid out. The highlighting is very useful, and the appendix listing the changes is also very useful. So thank you very much for that. It is very helpful. Picking up on the issue that Councillor Syson raised, so as I understand it, the model conditions are being decoupled from the policy, and they'll be reviewed on a separate cycle, perhaps as needed. Have I understood that correctly?
That's correct, yes.
I was just searching through the report, and I can't see a reference to that anywhere. Would it be helpful just to, well, firstly, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, would it be helpful just to have a short statement, perhaps at the end of section 1, somewhere, that just notes that the model conditions are being decoupled from this process, and they will go through whatever cycle is appropriate? Would that be a useful addition to the report?
Noted. We can add that in when it goes to council.
It may be what you're after. In 4.5 of the policy, it talks about model conditions and that they'll be able to be found on our website.
Sorry, I meant as part of the report, not as part
okay,
of the
sorry.
policy. Because the report, as I understand this, is kind of setting out what's happening. So it would be helpful, I think, just in the report to note that those model conditions are being decoupled, if that's the right word.
We'll make sure we explain any acronyms like MALEM as well.
Thank you.
Has anyone else got any questions? Councillor Harrison?
Just an admin point, really. I noticed on it's a standard cover, front cover to the main report. It just needs updating with the Director of Climate Change is still down as Dave Barber, so it's just a general updating point.
Okay. Any further comments or questions, or you've asked everything? Okay. So we need a proposer for the recommendations in this report.
Sorry, through you, Chair, can I just also add, if you wanted to make the changes to a report before it went to council, the proposal would also need to include that. Okay.
Outline what those changes are, please.
Yes, so to add in about the acronyms being explained and about the model conditions being decoupled, and also to change the Director of Climate Change to be updated.
Councillor Fount, thank you. And then seconder, Councillor Syson, thank you. All in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, and then next is item 6, to consider resolving that the public and press be excluded from the meeting for the reasons set out on the agenda. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Luckhurst, thank you. Councillor Syson as a seconder. All in favour? Thank you. That's carried.